got rebound. The entire history of the NBA.
This is what basketball looked like a century ago.
They're marching.
And here's what
They used to hike the basketball.
Like now. So, how did we get here? Well, it all started when a teacher named James Naismith wanted to make a fun game for his students. And boom, just
Peach
like
basket.
that, we got basketball. But at first, the game was complete garbage. I mean, they played with soccer balls and used wooden baskets as hoops.
Hey. You used to play with soccer ball in PE class when PE teachers used to lock up the basketball because they didn't want us playing basketball. They wanted playing volleyball. We started playing basketball with the volleyball. You can't take the game away from
Yeah,
you can't get you take the ball away from us. You can't take the game away from us.
Literally basketball, and they couldn't even dribble. But the game quickly evolved, and by 1906, metal rims were introduced. They finally allowed dribbling, thank God, and the very first professional basketball league was formed, the NBL. But
National
12
Basketball
years
League.
later, another league was created called the BAA, creating teams like the Celtics, the Lakers, the Knicks, and the Warriors.
What
and
the
by
hell is that?
1949,
What the hell is that
basketball
logo?
was getting so popular that the BAA and the NBL were like, let's do it. So they merged, creating the NBA. But despite being the #1 basketball league in the world, most players in the NBA still had day jobs, like Norman Glick, who worked as a plumber. I'm not kidding. But in 1956, one of the greatest players of all time made his NBA debut,
R.P. Bill.
Celtics legend Bill Russell. I mean, he was so good that he won a championship in his first season and 10 more throughout his career. Yeah, 11 championships. The Celtics dominated the league for 13 years straight, but in 1959, Bill's biggest rival joined the league, Wilt Chamberlain, a man who could bench 500 pounds, sleep with 20,000 women, and score 100 points in a single game, a record he still holds to this day. By the way, none of those things were ever recorded on camera, so there's a bit of debate on whether any of it happened. The next 20 years were a dark era for the NBA. In fact, it was almost the death of it. In 1967, a rival league was formed called the ABA, creating teams like the Spurs, Nuggets, Nets, and Pacers.
The Terrapins. The Dr. J used to play for that team when he had the afro. When he had the big afro, not the little afro, but the big one.
Two different leagues with over 200 players, completely splitting the basketball fan base. Not only that, but 70% of NBA players were addicted to drugs, which was a big no-no. And by 1978, the NBA was down so bad, even most of the finals weren't aired on TV. Nobody cared about the NBA. But right before officially going
Larry and Magic came to save the day.
Bankrupt, the league was saved by two unlikely stars. This is Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And in 1978, they were the two greatest
I thought it was 79. I thought it was 79.
Players in college basketball history that just so happened to be playing at the exact same time, leading to one of the greatest rivalries ever. They talked smack, got physical, all while dropping 20 points on each other.
Magic Johnson can dunk.
The hottest thing on TV. I'm talking 40 million viewers for a single college game between 1978 and 1979.
That more than LSU and Iowa with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Bird and Magic officially declared for the league, with Bird going to the Boston Celtics and Magic to the Lakers.
You know what's crazy? It was in the same draft. Bird came in like 1978 and Magic came in 1979, but Bird stayed an extra year in college, like like some European players do. Like they get drafted, like Jokic did. Jokic got drafted in 2014, but he came to the NBA in 2015.
The NBA absorbed the 4 remaining ABA teams, making the NBA the only professional basketball league. And oh yeah, in 1979, they finally added the iconic three-point line. The NBA was suddenly bigger than ever. Hell, the league even started selling players' jerseys for the first time. It was all led by Bird and Magic.
Only Magic and Bird.
Despite all that, the NBA had no clue what was about to hit them, because there was a kid from North Carolina about to change not only basketball, but the world forever. In 1982, a 19-year-old college player was averaging 13 points and 4 rebounds. Nothing special, but it was enough to help bring his team, the North Carolina Tar Heels, to the NCAA championship. And it was during that game that he made a name for himself, because in the final seconds, with his team down 1, he did this.
18. Shot. Jordan. It's over.
The buzzer beater, college freshman.
Michael Jordan was ready to take over the basketball world. And in 1984, when Jordan was drafted by the Chicago Bulls, he instantly became a star, winning Rookie of the Year and looking like he'd be the face of the game for years to come. But at the start of his sophomore season, Jordan shattered his foot. Meanwhile, there was another player.
And they wouldn't let him play. They wouldn't let him play. He was
ready
pissed.
to take MJ's spot.
Oh, Len Bias!
This is Len Bias. And the kid was so good, scouts were saying he'd for sure be better than MJ. He was bigger, stronger, and a better rebounder. And in 1986, he was drafted by the Boston Celtics, a team that still had legends like Larry Bird, Bill Walton, and
R.P.
Danny
Bill
Ainge.
Walton. R.P. Bill. I mean, Len
2 days
Bias.
later, the NBA was hit with one of their worst tragedies.
Local success story took a tragic turn this morning. Len Bias, the Maryland University basketball star on his way to becoming a world champion Boston Celtic, died of an apparent heart attack today at Leland Memorial Hospital in Prince George's County.
He died of heart failure because he used cocaine.
The medical examiner said the cocaine in Bias's body was virtually pure, while most found in Maryland is 60% diluted. He said Bias inhaled the powder. Within seconds, it was absorbed into the blood and quickly interrupted the electrical activity in his brain, and that produced an irregular heartbeat.
Len Bias tragically passed away, and with that, brought an end to the Celtics dynasty. But there was another dynasty right around the corner.
It's a dream team.
Now, a few months later, Michael Jordan returned from injury and literally became the most famous person in the world. He won 3 championships in a row with the Bulls, released the most iconic shoes of all time, the Jordan 1s, and he was so famous, you could recognize an outline of him. Everyone wanted to be like Mike, and it brought worldwide attention. By 1992, the NBA started playing games in countries like China, Germany, and Russia. And for the first time ever, you had legends like Bird, Magic, and Jordan all playing for the USA Olympic team, forming the Dream Team, aka the greatest sports team ever assembled. At this point, basketball and the NBA was at its peak.
You got the 2024 team versus the Dream Team. Who win it? You got the 2024 team versus 2008 team. Who win it? You got the 2014 versus 2024 team. Who win it?
So big, the league even added 2 teams to Canada. But
2014 got bronze. And LeBron and D-Wade and Carmelo were rookies.
all short-lived.
Last night, we began the show with the disappearance of Michael Jordan's father. Tonight, the worst fears have come true. James Jordan was found dead, victim of an apparent murder.
Jordan was devastated.
This is why I stopped.
Remember
shopping
about
on
online
Amazon,
shopping too?
And you should too.
I don't use that.
Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
R.I.P. to
And
James
unable
Jordan.
to cope with the pain, he officially retired from the NBA in 1993. This left a massive hole in the league, and the Houston Rockets tried to fill it, even winning back-to-back championships. But it just wasn't MJ. So
He said, yeah, not the same. Houston Rockets won back to be, it ain't the same. Ain't the same as the Bulls, buddy. You said, Keem ain't MJ. Kenny Smith is not MJ. You played with him 1 season at college. I don't mean you MJ, buddy. He said, this is not the same. Not the same.
even winning back-to-back championships.
They won't be like this if Pacers win a championship. They're like, yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same as like LeBron winning it. That's all LeBron fans do, basically. If they do that, if LeBron aren't like, yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. It don't hit the same.
It just wasn't MJ. So only 2 years after retiring,
Dang, he just said, oh, no, the king, you're good, but you're not Michael Jordan.
MJ shocked the world with 2 of the most iconic words in NBA history. I'm back. But when Jordan returned, he would meet the Black Mamba.
Now
for
he was
the
number
first
45. He was number 45.
time. And that's only one of the 8 sections coming up after a word from our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. See, when you're as good at basketball as I am, you
All right. How about Max? 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 How about Max?
Well, look, we gotta get back to MJ, because with the words "I'm back," he made his return to the NBA, where he and the Bulls went on to dominate the league again, winning 3 more championships in a row, including one on Father's Day, where MJ dedicated the win to his dad. It was truly beautiful. But as Jordan's career came to an end, a new era of players were ready to take over. Players like Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and
Allen Iverson.
They all brought something the league had
R.P.
never
Kobe.
seen before. AI redefined
And everyone know
how
I
you could
caught it.
dribble and move with the ball. Kobe brought his Mamba mentality, while no one could contain Shaq's size. But the changes went beyond just the court. By the early 2000s, you saw more players with tattoos. They were wearing chains and jewelry.
What's that,
The league
Udonis
got a
Haslem?
complete makeover.
Run.
By the year 2003, Shaq and Kobe were dominating the league. They teamed up on the Lakers and had won 3 championships in a row. It was a thing of beauty. That was, until their relationship fell apart. Kobe thought Shaq was being a lazy fat ass, and Shaq thought Kobe was
Oh yeah,
mean.
because Shaq got hurt, and he didn't want to rehab during summertime. He wanted to rehab during the season. He said, "I got hurt on company time. I'm going to recover on company time." That could make me mad.
So the two ended up hating each other. But all eyes were on a much bigger story. See, there was a player in high school that was more famous than any NBA player. A player that was part Magic Johnson, part MJ, and part superhuman. I'm talking about LeBron James, the most exciting prospect basketball had ever seen. I mean, if the league accepted high schoolers, he would have been playing in the NBA at 16. He was that good.
Looking like Luka. He would have been looking like Luka. My camera. God. Why it go off? Get up! Man, yeah, man.
And in the 2003 draft, he was selected by his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, ready to claim his crown as the king of the NBA. But while everyone had their eyes on LeBron, something sinister was going on in the background.
What happened?
A referee by the name of Tim Donaghy was rigging games for the Mafia, telling them which teams to put money on. And it wasn't just a single game.
He's still wrestling the NBA today, I think. His name sound familiar. You know, I know all the refs.
Even one series.
Now, Joey Crawford, that's the greatest referee of all time, in my opinion. Joey Crawford. Then you got Tony Brothers. Then you got Rick Brothers. Then Donaghy. Then Donahue. Then James Brown. Then the other dude.
He was rigging games for 4 years straight. Tim was literally changing the history of the NBA with each game he reffed. But eventually, the FBI got involved. A 2-year investigation was conducted, and Tim went to jail for 11 months. But
He came back and started refereeing again. I know it. I'll pause the video. Rebound.
weren't
Oh, there you
all
go.
bad.
Big three.
In 2007, the league saw the beginning of the super team era and the Boston Celtics.
He all started with the Celtics, yep. KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, yep.
NBA legends.
And Rondo
Ray
became a
Allen,
superstar.
Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce. And I know there were other super teams
Well, why is Paul Pierce? Boy, he was already on the Celtics. What you sign a new contract extension or something? Like, you not already there on the Celtics? You already on the Celtics.
over the years. The 82 Sixers, the 96 Bulls, hell, even the 2003 Lakers. But for the first time in NBA history, teams were intentionally trading for 3 superstars to try and win it all. And in 2010, the Miami Heat pulled off the greatest super team the NBA had ever seen. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and
Boshosaurus.
LeBron. I mean, they were so good. They made it all the way to the finals in their first year.
What happened?
By 2011, the league had hit one of its lowest points, going into a complete lockout.
Oh, you already had a lockout. That's right. The season didn't start till Christmas. And MVP D Rose hit the game winner that day on Christmas.
Basically, team owners wanted to pay their players less. Players said hell no, and the NBA shut down. So, with nothing to do all day, stars like LeBron and KD went and dominated in local gyms. Some players like J.R. Smith went overseas to play, while others were forced to literally find a normal job. No one knew if this was the end of the NBA.
Delonte
Finally,
West.
After 161
Hope he's doing well.
days, everyone came to a new agreement, and this marked the beginning of the absolutely ridiculous NBA contracts we see today. I mean, dudes like Timothy Mozgov, who averaged 6 points a game, signed a $65 million contract, while stars like Kevin Durant were signing contracts for over $160 million. To put that into perspective, the most Bill Russell got paid at the height of his career was $100 grand per year. That is only $975,000.
Dang, WNBA makes more than him. And WNBA players deserve to get paid as well.
The NBA
They deserve to get paid as well.
back LeBron lived it up in Miami, going to 4 straight finals.
Millions, not thousands, but millions.
Go to merge. And the NBA was in the midst of its LeBron era by 2014.
And not like 100 million, but probably about like somewhere in like the 10 million era, like $5 to $10 million range, the $15 million. Off again. Damn, what's going on with my camera? Like they shouldn't get paid. They shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? No athlete shouldn't get paid like $100 million. That's for the jump or dribble a ball, put a ball into a hoop. That's crazy.
LeBron returned to Cleveland.
Doctors should get paid that money. And teachers.
Down a ring, thinking it was going to be an endless flow of championships. But there was a team in the Bay Area with a player named Steph Curry who was about to change the NBA forever. Steph Curry could shoot the ball from anywhere. And I mean anywhere. We had never seen anything like it. 3-point shots used to just be, a normal part of the game. But now, we saw Steph Curry making it the number one option, from hitting more threes.
Before Steph Curry, everyone was playing like him on 2K. Then he did it in real life, and that's what made him popular as well.
Player in NBA history to taking home the MVP award that year and winning the 2015 NBA Finals. He broke boundaries and changed the way the league viewed shooting. So other teams started shooting threes like crazy, trying to find their own Steph Curry. But there was a problem. The dude was one of a kind. So from 2015 to 2018, it was the king of the league versus the greatest shooter of all time. And it made for some of the most...
Ty Lue was chubby.
King of the league.
Look at Ty Lue. That man lost some weight. He's chubby.
All time. And it made for some of the most memorable playoff series ever. Like in 2016, when LeBron and the Cavs were down 3-1 to the Warriors in the finals. But somehow they came back and won it all, making it LeBron's greatest accomplishment.
LeBron James!
International players started invading the league. Like Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic, who account for the last 5 MVPs from 2019 to 2023. Suddenly, the league's best players weren't even American. It was like nothing the league had ever seen before. But when nobody saw coming was a worldwide pandemic.
Oh, go there.
A dangerous virus is spreading rapidly in China, and U.S. officials are very worried that it could come here.
Now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S.
If I show up to an arena and ain't no fans in there, I ain't playing.
But you did. But you did.
See, the NBA was forced to completely shut down for 4 months. Luckily though, the league was trying to cook up a plan to bring basketball back, and what they came up with seemed insane at first, because the NBA invited teams to Disney World, where they would come and play out the rest of the season while being stuck inside a bubble for 3 months. They couldn't leave, they couldn't bring anyone in, they couldn't even order food from outside restaurants.
Damn!
It was rough. But LeBron got his 4th ring out of it, and nobody got sick. By 2021, COVID was still around, but the fans were back, and we got to see one of the weirdest seasons ever.
Yeah, that season was weird though,
Katie's foot was too big. LeBron got eliminated in the first round for the first time in his career, and the Bucks won their first championship since 1971. In the 2022-23 season,
that's where things got back to normal. 21-22
Warriors finals, where Steph took home his 4th ring. But I think it's more important to talk about where we are today.
This video was made in 2023, by the way.
I feel like there's a problem that no one seems to be mentioning. The NBA's most popular players are getting really old. And I think we're about to witness the end of an era. I mean, the typical retirement age for an NBA player is 35. Meanwhile,
John Barkley in the middle.
Jimmy Butler,
His face
James
popped
Harden,
up.
D. Rose, and Westbrook are all 34. Steph and KD are 35, CP3 is 38, and the king of the NBA, LeBron James, is 38 years old too.
A new era. Look at the conference finals.
Oldest player in the entire NBA. I mean, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? These dudes are about to retire, and the league is about to look a whole lot different very soon. Because with 30 teams at the moment, the league has plans to expand to 32 teams.
Vegas,
and with how much the league
Hawaii on Team Hawaii and Alaska.
In 20 more years. Like, there's already talks about a 4-point line, airless basketballs, and Toyota's developing a robot.
Knowing Adam Silver, you can't throw none of these things out the window. Knowing Adam Silver, that man had an in-season tournament and a play-in tournament. Hey, that man had an in-season tournament and a play-in tournament. You can't go get nothing past Adam Silver.
Might even play in the league. This really is the end of an era and the beginning of something new.
Shout out to Rebound, W Video. I fixed my camera.